I need a Negro male's perspective. Somebody took it out on this Clancy shit. I tried to ignore it, but it's too pervasive. It's too. I've been talking about it, all kind of shit. People have been tagging me because they know it's gonna piss me off.
Mm-hmm. I bet they are. I bet they are. What we got? What we got?
We on?
We are. Give me a second.
Yeah. Too much.
Here. And we are live in the flesh. We apologize, folks. We are about to be live right now. All right. Thank you. We wanted to stay on task and stick to the schedule. Join with my guy Aaron Carter, who's live from Atlanta. Shout out to Roxbury with another crazy T-shirt, which we love. We need to get the Aaron. We need to get the Aaron Carter store going.
I bought the shirt 1995 at the Million Man March.
Oh, I was at the Million Man March.
1995.
Where did you sleep that night? That's the question.
In a car? I think I was a kid.
Okay. I damn, how old are you? I slept,
15.
I slept in the train station.
What's really crazy is I've been the same size my whole life. The shirt fits just like normal.
Mm, mm.
I just don't wear it anymore because of what it says on the back.
The Million Man March did a lot for me, man. I know this is what our time. I think it's another. I think there's a subset of shows that we have to talk about some historical context and how that shapes people. I think one of the top five things that shaped me as a black man was one of them was the Million Man March, because there was no expectation of bullshit happening.
Mm.
You know, like the
FOI was there.
huh?
So FOI was there. So nobody acts stupid with FOI.
Yeah.
Nobody.
But also like there's like these Jack and Jill dudes. It's like these bougie dudes, dudes who want to get away from their families and wives, and like we was all sleeping in the freaking train station, and we were so far away from the front. It felt like we were still. I just remember the echo of hearing um, Farrakhan and those other brothers. It was just like it was powerful. It was powerful for me. What's some of your key takeaways from the main
There was both good and bad. It was cool seeing how you said the whole mix of black men, and there was not 1 second where anyone thought something was going to pop off.
Yeah.
Not one. Um, the interesting part for me though was probably the opposite. My uncle Bunny, when I was asking him if he's going to go, is he coming? And he was like, "For what? What's it going to do?" Um, and his sentiment was similar to a lot of people. So that made me. I thought about that a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here in
For
echo.
me, are you hearing me in an echo?
Yeah,
Not sure why.
and myself.
I'm not hearing that. I'm actually not hearing that at all. Is that better?
I'm hearing myself. Yeah.
To ask the chat, do we hear an echo? Anyone? I don't hear you at all, actually. I hear you, but I don't hear an echo.
Okay.
Let me see if there's something I can do with your audio. You have echo cancellation. All right. So I think we can tap into the man market, those sort of pieces and impact that shaped us as black men. And looking at the NFL, right? And I know this is gonna be a hot topic for you because you're annoying me so much with this. You don't like Sanders, but you have to admit
No.
he's been better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Who should start in Cleveland?
I hope so. For me personally, because I have a financial stake in it, I would rather they start Sanders so he can fail faster. I think it's to his advantage to sit on the sideline and watch for a little bit because that really helps quarterbacks.
Yes.
And Watson is only getting a shot because of his contract, but that press conference that he had where
I mean, I think
he's
that's one of the all-time worst press conferences ever.
I mean he's terrible.
Mhm.
He's coming off what he's coming off of. He's got the worst contract, one of the worst, maybe the worst contract in the history of sports. It's completely changed the NFL because all these bums are getting guaranteed contracts, and then he attacks the fans. It's pretty wild. And surprisingly, Sanders handled the aftermath of that pretty well.
Mhm.
His response to that I thought was probably the most concise and complete thing he's ever said,
Mhm.
at least in the public forum. So I would prefer Sanders to start, but they're going to stay with Watson until the wheels absolutely come off.
I think it's criminal. I think Watson showed exactly what everybody else was saying. And sometimes we try to give some people some grace, a little bit of black grace, but I don't even know if he is. I won't be surprised if Watson hangs out with like Byron Donald, those dudes, right? Like I can't, or if he like goes to the shower and plays Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he is that kind of, he's that kind of guy. I mean, somebody said Somebody said the other day they're starting not to trust brothers who don't have facial hair, which is a filthy take, right? I just think that I think that he's a piece of shit. I just can't even put it in any other words. I to begin and end with that, I just think that I hope Sanders starts. I did think he looked decent the other day.
Sanders has talent. He's not a starting NFL quarterback.
But I will say like I don't think anyone has looked good. As it's the preseason, right? I don't know if anyone has looked good, and who have looked good for you, right? Like it's so hard to predict the NFL who could be like a rookie of the year. Like,
No one really, and like I said, it's hard having not gone to training camps this year. But I'm reading that Ramondre Stevenson is having a good camp. Because NFL has changed the preseason so much, this is when like bettors like myself really locked in their money, really locked in, some surprises and stuff like that. So because these preseasons have been devalued so much, it's really not even talent evaluation at this point. It's just getting your guys healthy to the regular season. It used to be you play some guys, you evaluate talent, there's quarterback competitions and all that sort of stuff. You don't see any of that
No,
anymore. None of it.
no.
And even that third preseason game used to be the starters are in, you're getting yourself ready, you get an idea, fans get an idea what the team's going to look like. We're not going to know the week one, and it's tough.
Okay. I'm gonna pivot to Clancy. I'll let you lead.
What you say?
I'm gonna pivot to Clancy. We've been trying to have this conversation for a few weeks.
Hmm.
Your go. I'll let you up.
I think I'm really curious as to what people have to say about that. I had a long conversation with a young lady that I'm talking to, I guess would be the term, in London, and she hadn't heard about the case really. She's seen bits and pieces of it, and she had no idea that there were women going to the courthouse and supporting her and things. And I've posted about it. I've said that I didn't think it could get any worse when Trump was elected in terms of the American culture and the fall, the base that we would have. And then I saw this. You cannot ignore the fact that the case isn't about the three murdered children. It's about how she felt at the time when she did it,
Absolutely.
which is utterly amazing. And it's not only shown how far we've come because I compared it. There's a video out that when Susan Smith drowned her kids, like remember that case, where she got in the car, drove the car into the lake,
Yep.
drowned her kids. Women everywhere went, lock her up, execute her, blah blah blah. They were pissed. And now, after 25 years of telling everybody it's not your fault, nothing is your fault, you're seeing the results of that. Where a woman can say, I did it. And there are women right now are saying, no, it obviously was the husband. No way a woman could have done this. Wasn't even her. No, I did it.
To her children, right?
Her lawyers, yeah, she did it, but it wasn't her fault. Prosecutor, yeah, she did it. But we have millions of women who are saying, nah. And also we have men who are throwing their hands up and like, all right, this is it. Like, this is it. This is proof that we have gone too far with all the stuff that we're doing with all the fake social constructs.
I don't understand. We are socializing, and I'm trying to be like, we are socializing so much bullshit right now, bro. I don't like. It's indefensible what this woman did. It's very clear that she did it, but I feel like one of the things with this current administration, what they've allowed folks to do is to really, really like normalize some wild shit as long as white folks are not to blame.
That's part of it. I think, although I do think some of the excuse making kind of started actually in the Obama administration and just got worse and worse.
Yes.
But one of the things especially is you're looking at the death of sort of conservative values
Mm-hmm.
in terms of accepting what is possible and not only accepting but protecting white women. So one of the things that has always happened throughout this country is regardless of how ridiculous white women have been. And so Bill Burr has a bit about it where white women are like, oh, we're oppressed. And Bill Burr's bit is like, wait, you were right next to us,
Yeah.
going off with Mandingo. And when you got caught, you scream rape,
Right.
He has a whole bit about that. And now you're seeing the things that the chasm is so deep where you're seeing, especially white men are like, no, this is not acceptable. We're not taking this. I'm not protecting this. I'm not excusing it. You're on your own in this bullshit right here. And I've also seen unfortunately, I've seen a lot of black women, even though they're not standing at the courthouse, they're so sympathizing with what's going on. Oh no, it's about how she felt, and you don't understand. You shouldn't speak about women's issues. When I didn't know that murdering three people, murdering your kids, is a singular women's issue. I just didn't know that. I just found that out during this case.
Well, the claim is postpartum psychosis.
I know. And I had a big conversation about that where I'm not going to get too deep because who knows what we can and can't say on YouTube, but you can't blame hormones only one way. Hormones are not a singularly female thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to say that there are extreme cases of postpartum depression, then you have to say that there are extreme cases of testosterone rage.
So, of course.
So if you're a woman and it's okay for you, or you have an excuse to strangle your kids, then you have to excuse men who attack women. Say, oh, I haven't had sex in a long time. My testosterone was so high. I was going crazy and she was looking good.
And I had to strangle.
Right. I strangle or the other word.
Right.
You know? And so if we're going to start doing that, then we're going to go down a really ridiculous thing. Because there are people and there is research done that there are guys on steroids, roid rage. When you have elevated levels of testosterone, you're going to react a certain way. House did a whole episode on it, the TV show House,
Yes.
with LL Cool J. And so if you're going to start talking about that, you have to explore the whole spectrum. I personally don't think any of it is an excuse. There is no test for bipolar. There's no test for depression. You don't take a blood test and say it comes back, you're depressed.
Yeah, I mean everything is like it ends up being inconclusive, and there's too much subjectivity and ambiguity to some of these diagnoses. You know,
There's a lot of not some. I was a psychology major in school. There's a lot of ambiguity, and that's one of the things that led me away from the profession.
yeah. I think because we're not really on tonight. I want to jump to another topic quickly. If you had to choose, I think sports has like become. So we're in an era of sports. Right now, we are in an era of sports. Adam, how you doing? We're in an era of sports where there's a bunch of people that need to retire. I think that and I'm not like, I know people automatically think I'm talking about LeBron. I'm not talking about LeBron, but I'm wondering who would fit into that category. Like with Klay Thompson, right? Klay Thompson clearly doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say Aaron Rodgers. He was at the top of my list.
Doesn't have it left, right? Who is? I think inherently LeBron blocks a lot, right? But he's still performing. But who do you believe we should just let go? Who should just be gone?
Oh, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is at the top.
Yeah.
He's not there. I think he's on my list of one of the most overrated, but in terms of these final years, when you contrast him with Brady, you see the difference between someone who could technically still play and someone who's done. Aaron Rodgers is done. And Peyton Manning's another one. When he was done, he knew he was done. He hung on that last year. He couldn't throw the football, and he left. But I think Aaron Rodgers, LeBron is an interesting thing because he's still effective.
Yeah.
And I think you saw Russell Westbrook hang on a little bit too long.
Yeah, I think Westbrook. Yeah, I think there's some players. I think like an Ovechkin.
He scored his. He was.
Should Ovechkin go? You know what I mean? Like, there are some players that I think, honestly, somebody's trying to make the case around like why are players able to play longer these days? Especially, is it the rules or is it the physical conditioning?
It's both. In football, it's especially the rules.
It's definitely both.
And there's also physical conditioning. Everybody, you look around, there's people in our group who are 50 years old. You won't know that they're 50 years old unless they told you.
Yeah, shoot, I'm
40. And there's a lot of people, especially those of us who are 35, 40 years old, and if they color their beard, which I think about every single day, you would know you wouldn't know that they're 35, 40 years old.
I know. I try to.
I,
Go ahead, Adam.
I think it's the love of the game too. I think like it still keeps them motivated. If they feel like they can compete and they feel like they still can give something to the game, why not? Why not play? Why not? It can't be easy to get up every morning and compete with like the best athletes in the world. That's like a mental thing too.
Yeah.
I mean, like your body can only do so much. And you talking like
Go ahead. Sorry. I thought you were done.
I'm just saying like even for football, like you're talking about the top athletes in the world, strong, fast, like still play
But
at a high level. Go ahead, Aaron, my fault.
I also think it's culture too. You mentioned something. We're not as mean, and we don't have as much accountability. So someone like a Vince Carter, he played for 20 something. He was horrible his last few years. He wasn't doing it. He was just taking a spot from a younger guy who could have given the team exactly what he gave them. And normally we would have browbeat him off the field, off the court. And we don't do that anymore. It's everybody, live your life and everybody be happy stuff.
Could it be? Could it be that we have created a niche for the older vet, and we just overrate that a little bit, right? Maybe the older vet is taking up seats now on rosters. Because it's a weird dynamic because we're so enamored with getting the 18-year-olds, but on the back end we have all these old ass heads. So like
because the kids are so young, see, man. What we're producing as young folks, they're so young and not ready. You got to keep the older men around more.
yeah, I think there's an influx of folks who are just like I don't know, but also do we have fatigue? Like I will be honest with you, I have a slight LeBron fatigue. And it's not so much that I don't like watching. I just want to watch LeBron play, but I don't like all the other stuff. I don't like the debates. I don't like none of that. I don't like I don't care about LeBron's life. Like I don't care.
Well,
LeBron's
LeBron wants that. Yeah. Le,
I don't
LeBron,
care.
the difference, I've been saying that. And one of the things too, you look at LeBron and then you look at someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. The dude is making 200 million in base salary a year, 200 million a year, and he's still effective. LeBron is effective, and I think if he plays power forward, if he plays point guard this year, he's going to be a serviceable NBA player. So it's hard to talk about him. I like you am sick of talking about LeBron, but LeBron is better than a Klay Thompson. LeBron is better than a lot of guys on an NBA roster right now at his diminished capacity. And that's part of the problem too. Is him and Brady have skewed things so far that we think that everybody, so Aaron Rodgers thinks he can still play. He can't. Messi, to his credit, is in the MLS. Ronaldo is in Saudi Arabian League. They're not front and center trying to do what they were doing 15, 20 years ago. LeBron is. So he's a different animal.
Yeah, I'm not even. I'm almost sick of Steph Curry.
But even like this era, like the Durants, the Currys,
I'm
the
done.
Rosens,
I'm done.
but but to piggyback off what Steve said, he's right. The maturity of the grown men will always provide the job opportunities for Haslams, the DeAndre Jordans, the Mike Conleys. Like as long as there's an actual leader and mature player that's been through the ropes, like I think this generation, that's why they keep all their vets. They keep all their vets. They keep all their older people, and like they're gonna continue to have jobs forever.
Yeah, I don't believe that we are, or is it on the back end? People just not doing their job, developing talent to push these dudes out the league. You know what I mean? Like, how long? Like, I'm sick of Rudy Gobert. Like, I'm sick of some of these. Like, I have so much fatigue with so many of these players because they're dominating the conversations as well, right? I don't get it, and I don't, and I think it's just a failure of organizational structures and like honestly like these GMs because they're putting these Wonder Boy GMs in charge,
Awful.
you know, and that like that just makes it oh
The GMs, there's a GM, and there are several in the NBA, and this was a real discussion about how much money James Harden was going to get. The fact that James Harden
that's another thing.
it got another $100 million, and the thing is he's been bad for years as well. But just like you mentioned, Curry, if James Harden goes out there and averages 6 points a game, culturally there's no backlash. If Curry sucks next year, he's completely healthy, but he just sucks. There's still no backlash. There's going to be, oh, give him his flowers. He did this, he did
Yeah.
that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There's no thing to where, all right, get this guy off the field. Like, remember Joe Montana when he went to Kansas City after he hurt his elbow? He was still a serviceable quarterback, but he wasn't Joe Montana. He was booed off the field.
And they were ready to kill him.
Yeah, yeah. He was. They got this man off the field, and he was Joe Montana. They don't do that. They don't do that anymore. So you can be bad and still chill.
As a Bears fan, when Walter Payton was on his back end, see you later. It was like, yo,
Yeah.
Walter Payton. You know what I mean? Like, the dynamics have changed significantly so much. You know, I think that a lot of it is like the access to power as well, right? I'm all for our brothers having power and all that stuff, but I think it's like hurting the superstar. And I mentioned like this is a short show, you know, but I wanted to jump into one more quick topic, which we'll be back on Tuesday. If you had a starting five right now because what I watched, I've been YouTubing, I've watched the Worlds. Well, I don't know if it's the Worlds. Well, you know, y'all saw the France game. Yo, we're in trouble. And it's not just picking the best players from America. And this is what we started the show with months ago. I was warning folks. I was trying to set folks up for this. Based on what we know now, not who should be on the team. What team can win what starting five can win a gold medal for the USA team right now?
Great question, C. I don't know if we have one.
I don't know.
Well, who's the center? Who's the American center? Start with that.
You gotta go with the boy in Denver.
I gotta go the American center. I think if I have to go AD.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. We starting off already terrible then. we already lost it.
Or MB.
I mean,
MB won't be anything until 2028.
I think personally it will be hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone else is caught up. But if you put Anthony Edwards, Cooper, Tatum, maybe Cade.
I think Cade and Anthony Edwards are the only two, and
Cade
Tatum because
yep.
those
Cade
are the
is
only
the one.
three. I think.
Yeah.
Cade at the one. Ant-Man at the two. JT at the three. And after that, it gets spooky world for us.
I think Cooper is going to come in at that 4th spot.
No, hell no.
Actually, no. I agree with Cooper. I agree with Cooper's line.
So if we got
Like
Cooper flag at the 4 and who we putting at the 5, we lose.
Not even the 4. I just think he's in the mix somewhere. But
Yeah.
you're looking at American front court, and there's a problem.
We lose.
Yeah, there's a problem.
We lose.
And hold on, I might have missed this, or it might have I might have been dreaming. But a bunch of people had a graphic with Jaylen Brown on France for some reason. What was that?
I think he just got a citizenship.
Playing for France?
Yeah. What was that?
He got a citizenship or something like that.
I thought I was dreaming. But I know I saw something with Jalen Brown next to Wemby on the France roster.
What?
He's not a
Yeah.
citizen.
I mean,
But
But
the the
but
he
he's
does
winning.
he
He'll
does
do
not
something
have his
like that.
French citizenship.
huh?
He does not have it.
Okay, all right, good.
He intends to. He's trying to. He's trying to get his citizenship unofficially in France.
So outside Embiid, who's the best American center in the league?
I mean, for FIBA, I mean, this is controversial because for FIBA, for them to, I think the best big man combination, I think the best 5-man for FIBA, given the style of play, it has to be Paolo. And I hate to, and I know a lot.
Yeah, but he's not a center. He's not a center.
He can play it. He can't. Louis Scola played center. Right? Like, I think Paulo's game, while it hasn't translated well to the league, is ideal. If you remember the last time we played internationally, he might have been one of the best players we have. That team with Brunson and all those other dudes. The problem is that in my opinion, they play him enough. Paulo has to be on that team. I don't think Chet Holmgren should be on the team. If we have if we have Davis, Bam, and Paulo, then we look at like Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum.
Well, what about Caleb Wilson by the time the tourney rolls around?
Caleb Wilson, not Caleb Wilson.
Yeah.
No.
Bam could play the center.
Who? Bam could play the center.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just talking about in rotation wise.
I mean, maybe
You're still gonna get
but you still have Jalen Williams. Devin Booker's definitely gonna be there, right? Like
Stephon
I don't think
might be on that
I don't
team.
think that's a definite. I don't think Devin Booker is a definite.
Devin Booker just turned 30.
Stephon Castle might be on that team as well.
Who?
He might get pushed out.
Stephon Castle's he can't shoot it well.
If Halliburton couldn't get in rotation, I don't think Booker. I think is on the back nine. I mean, he's going to play in the league for a while, but his skills are diminishing to me.
Now we talk about who gets left off. I look at a lot of lists. I'm looking at them right now. Nobody's mentioning Jalen Brunson or Halliburton.
Halliburton's on the team.
He's gonna get grandfathered.
Right.
Jalen Brunson is just like I said with the Knicks. Is Jalen Brunson moving Castle and some of those other guys away because they're coming? He's not going to be. He's going to be in the mix because of the name, but in practicality, no. I'm going with somebody else.
He's gonna kill him in practice. What about Cat?
Cat.
Absolutely not. God.
I didn't say but
when you're mentioning Davis, you can't. If you're taking Davis, you're not taking.
I think the only old head I would take on that team is Steph Curry. It's the only old head I would put on that team. Maybe Durant. Right? That's specialty guard.
I honestly,
Steph Curry's the one guy that will make them play. He's the one guy that could be 50 years old and you still got to pick him up.
What about Durant? You're going to take Durant.
Not over Steph.
No.
Yeah, but you're going to take. I mean, if Steph or Durant want to play, you're going to take them both.
I don't think that's guaranteed.
Not in 2 years. I think Steph is the one. Steph is the one. He's the one player. Steph is the one player I would take in 2 years.
I personally think that starting lineup's going to be, like I said, Cam, Ant, Tatum, Cooper, and I just don't know who the 5 is. Either going to be Bam or AD.
I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with Cade. I'm going to go with Ant. I'm not going with Tatum. I'll go with Paolo, and I'll go with Black.
That's crazy. The Tatum hate to be crazy.
Tatum, actually, Tatum belongs on the team, but maybe he doesn't want to play anymore after the embarrassment of the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't see the usage is just so high with Tatum. I don't know if he is the guy, if he's the international player, unless he plays the 4.
Wait. Tatum wants to prove he belongs, Corey. He has a chip on his shoulder.
I don't believe in his mid-range game enough. I don't.
Settles. He
I don't.
does.
If he plays the 4 in the international game, he could be amazing. But he can't do the look at even if you go back and look at the other dream teams, the dudes who was killing, right? Yo, Charles Barkley, right? Grant Hill, right? Grant Hill played the point. Jason Kidd, right? I'm talking about like folks who led these teams. Kobe Bryant, right? He looked his best ever because somebody else real was like he had limited shots, right? I think so. I don't. Tatum's not looking like that. I'm telling y'all, the discomfort that he has with the international game is crazy because his game doesn't really, in my opinion, because he just doesn't have.
If Carmelo Anthony can play well in the international game, then Jason Tatum.
Yes, he can because he's a mid-range shooter.
He's physical.
And once again, what I say, he plays the 4. Right?
Tatum plays the 4. There's not a 4 in the international game that can stay in front of him.
You got Jason Tatum will have to commit to playing the 4.
Giannis.
But how does somebody that leads in rebounding and assists, right? How does he not be able to do the same thing on a better squad, rebounding and see what the court looks like?
If he plays the 4.
He has to want to do it.
It's because of
he can.
Out there.
He can do it at the 3.
Out there with him.
But he's going to be one of the biggest threes on
Yeah.
the floor.
That
And he's
doesn't
going to be
matter.
able to post. He's going to be able to post to go
Too much
by you.
size in international play is problematic. I'm just saying.
I don't know about
Too
that.
much size
Corey.
in international play is problematic.
Oh, Tatum's 6'10".
For real, 6'10".
Yeah. He needs to
Yeah,
play
he's
the 4.
6.
He needs to
He's
play the 4.
6'10", and he can dribble like a guard. So, like, I just as much as I talk shit and I try to trash Tatum.
I'm not trashing Tatum.
Tatum got a complete game.
I'm
Tatum got a
trashing
very complete game.
unless he says he needs the ball and he's not unreliable mid-range shooter.
But we'll see how he plays this season because he might not. He might learn to play off the ball.
All right. He's not in my starting 5. I think
I got Cooper though.
Paulo gets it because Paulo's a physical, versatile, big, who is going to commit to hanging around the basket, playing for a good coach.
Physical, yeah, he's physical.
Edwards and Steph Curry spread you out on the wings. Cade Cunningham is going to initiate the offense and find players wide open and get people more layups than ever, or call his own number because he's able to body people and pull up.
What about Jalen Durant?
When you have Cade Cunningham, you don't worry about players like Luka in the international play because he's not. Luka's going to be 6'8" and Cade Cunningham's going to be 6'8".
Yeah.
Right. Also, Cade Cunningham has the ability to cover Wemby a little bit, right? Because I've seen him do it, right? All I'm saying is you have to have Cade there, but you can't really have Tatum there as much. Cade is probably the most valuable guy to that entire team if they expect to win it this time around.
Jalen Durant might make that team.
That's where we're definitely losing.
Yeah, I think that too.
That's where we're definitely losing. 100%. Jalen Durant isn't gonna do any of that. No, not at all. Not at all.
That's crazy. I'm really trying to think of American centers.
That's the conundrum that we have, right? Like there's this USA team, and we're talking about players deflecting to go and play from in other countries. Jaylen Brown goes to France. You know what happens? They have a lot of size. You know what ends up happening there? You know, let me.
If we go Cam, if we go Cade, Ant-Man, Tatum, Bam, we can throw somebody else in there. I like that 5. I like that 4 right there and put Cooper Flag in there. That 5,
yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. Cooper 6. Now you're telling me Cooper can't play the 4?
Put Cooper at the 4, Tatum at the 3, Cooper at the 4, Bam at the 5.
That's a big ass lineup.
I like Tatum off the bench for Steph Curry.
We good to go.
All right.
You definitely
All I'm
tripping.
saying is they'll pack the paint on us, and the USA team struggles with perimeter shooting.
Cooper and Tatum will be at least receiver.
Where are they going to get the shooting from?
And Cade and Steph.
Steve, Adam, Aaron, where do they get the shooting from?
They're not going to need the shooting. They're going to do what they usually do.
Yeah.
They're going to pick up, quarter court trap, press here and here, double team, and make the game herky jerky and crazy and go up and down.
Where do they get the shooting from?
They don't need it. I just told you what they're going to do.
They do need it. That's why they lost. And that's why they lost when they had the Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown team and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but that's trash. They should have lost. That was trash.
Corey, there's no way you think Cooper, Tatum, and Steph Curry and Cade are on the court and everyone in FIBA's gonna be able to run with them.
He does. Corey always got to go the other way. Man.
What up, man? Switch Tatum out for all you have to do is switch Tatum out for Steph Curry, and I'm fine.
Tatum is the top 2 power forward in the league.
Okay,
right now.
So if you want to take somebody out, then
if he plays the 4,
so this is what we do. If you want to take somebody out, take the kid from Detroit, have him come off the bench and start.
He can never do that. He's the best.
Yeah. So there, I knew you. So you say that Curry shouldn't be the starting point then?
No.
This is crazy. All right. Okay, then y'all got it. Let me.
Curry is there to stretch the defense.
Exactly.
If Curry stands at half court, you have to cover it. He's the
My
only
point
guy
exactly.
in the world that you have to cover at half court.
Okay, you still saying, but what I'm saying is you still saying he's playing the point, but he really doesn't have to. If JT gets the rebound, they're gone. If Ant-Man got it, they're gone.
Hooper gets it, they're gone.
They're gone. Bam gets it, they're gone.
A recovering Jason Tatum. A Jason Tatum who has one leg bigger than him.
Tatum hasn't played for a year, Corey.
Post Achilles injury is and look visibly uncomfortable with the international game. I have to off the bench and have Steph Curry beat Steph Curry, and Edwards and Cade Cunningham is far more intimidating than Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, and Jason Tatum.
I think
coach, those 3 are far more intimidating than those 3 that I just mentioned, right? And then if y'all are bucking, like without Steph Curry, we're talking about college players playing right now for a USA team because of the way he responded in those last 2 games. Like you need a shooter who is knocked down. You need someone who is knocked down. If you don't have someone who is knocked down in international play, you're screwed. You want to know why? Because these dudes, they're never going to let you get second shots because they're going to be snatching it off the front of the rim.
But I think after you see Tatum play this season, see that he's healthy again, your opinion will change.
That's hypothetical. Maine, we're saying who is the starting 5 for the USA team? Who would be yours?
2028.
Yeah.
Oof. Halliburton. Edwards. Tatum.
Halliburton's trash, and he's done. Career's
He's definitely trash. He's definitely
he's definitely not trash.
It's over for him. It's over. Okay, he's gonna be the G League.
Well, wait.
Halliburton he is so overrated, and he got a lot of motherfuckers. Watch what he do this year.
Okay, all right.
Steve tripping, man.
Yes, Halliburton, Edwards, Tatum.
And if they lose, they're gonna blame Jason Tatum. Here's your shot.
Yeah.
Here's your shot. Steve Kerr, here's your shot.
You don't like Tatum on the Olympics?
I don't like him as a starter.
As a starter?
Wait, let him finish. Let Mano finish. Who's your 4 and 5, man?
Give me international play. Give me Walker Kessler at the 5. And 4, Paulo. I know I'm probably missing somebody, but Paulo.
Damn right.
Cooper Flag, Mano.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Cooper. Take Paulo out, put Cooper there. Yep. Cooper Flag.
Aaron, you went with yours?
Yeah.
So here's I'm reversing. I got AD as my 5.
AD.
Yeah.
AD is my 5. Paulo is my 4.
Man, the drugs you
Unless
talk
Jason
about
Tatum
that's in
wants to
the
play
air at your house.
Unless Jason Tatum wants to play the 4.
So you saying that we got a problem with you say you got a problem with Jason Tatum, but you're gonna start Dr. Glass? Mr. Glass? You want Mr. Glass to be the starting
I'm
five?
talking about the Olympics. He doesn't got to play that. If he's healthy,
Mr. Glass?
he's AD. If he's healthy, he's AD.
If he's healthy, he's Mr. Glass.
If
He just a newer Glass.
Tatum's not healthy too. I got Paulo and
He
AD
is
in the front
Mr.
court,
Glass.
and I got Ant, Cade, and Steph. If you have Steph can stand on the opposing free throw line, and you got to cover him. So that's the court is smaller. They get to knock the ball off the front of the rim. I'm telling y'all right now, you have to have a knockdown.
You think Steph is going in 28 though?
You should.
Think Steph is going into? You think he's gonna be playing in 2 years?
You see this white piece board.
So let's
They're trying to get away from their wives.
Let's think about how the team was constructed last time. They had a scoring guard. They had two defensive guards. They had Tatum. They had Braun. They had Durant. And that Ant-Man. No, I know. But think about how it was constructed last. So think about it. You're gonna have Stephon Castle. You might even get.
He's not getting on that team.
Yeah, I don't see him getting on that team.
You might even have You might even have Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson's a great option. Jalen Johnson, his game is built for international play because
yeah, it is.
But I'm just telling you, between Tatum and Cooper.
Hold on. You think that you can win the gold medal right now with Tatum as one of your top 3 players?
I think he's mature enough now. I think this season will show him how to use his teammates.
Do you think that you can win? Any of y'all? Do y'all think that with Tatum as the top 3 player on the USA team, that you can win a gold medal?
Yes.
Yes. Cade, Ant, Cooper. Cade, Ant, Tatum, Cooper. Bam. You can win a championship. You'll win the championship.
Easily. And don't be taking my starting 5 and running with it too. I heard that.
On a USA that you can win a gold medal.
Yes. What is your beef with Tatum?
I don't have a beef with Tatum. I have NBA Tatum is phenomenal. NBA Tatum is phenomenal.
So you're saying his game's not built for international play?
No.
He rebounds and he passes very well. How is it not?
He could break down his defender easily.
Cade, Ant, Tatum, the white boy, and Bam.
You talk about athletic lineup who can all shoot.
This dude's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get his game. His game is absolutely built for Olympic plays. Absolutely is built for it.
Mid post at the elbow.
Unless he plays the 4. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Oh, well, yes. He definitely has to play the 4 in Olympic play. No question.
No, he doesn't.
I think so. I think he's better. He will be better at the 4 in the Olympic play. Let me say that. I think he would be better. So positional wise,
they don't play that type of basketball though. But I get what y'all saying, but the USA doesn't. Let's slow it down. Let's go double high pivot, pick off the pit. They don't play like that. They want to rebound, go up and down.
Running down.
No, that's what I mean. But Tatum could play that. Again, Melo goes crazy in the Olympics. Melo goes crazy in the Olympics.
Because he shoots the mid-range and he plays the 4.
Right.
Whoever gets the rebound is cooking.
Do y'all see Tatum playing the 4?
Okay.
You could if you want.
For a different story. But
Corey.
If he plays the 4, he's not the same Jason Tatum that the Boston Celtics watch.
Tatum and Cooper are interchangeable at the 3 and 4. So you can put them wherever you want.
Would he commit to play the 4?
I think he would. I mean,
that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
I think he would.
You're a great moderator, Corey.
If
Way to
he
get the
rebounds-
way to get the ratings up.
if he rebounds,
Great job to getting the ratings up.
it takes care of everyone else.
Extremely great job getting the ratings up.
If he rebounds the ball and he commits to covering guys his size and plays below the 3-point line, so we don't have to see the step backs and all that other bullshit, we'll be all right.
When that nigga gets the ball at the elbow,
I like Tatum playing with Paulo, with Paulo being a 5 or an AD, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, or Bam. But I do not like Jason Tatum hanging out on the wing in the international play shooting step back threes.
Yeah, okay. All right. I got you.
Trying to do with the other folks.
But he wouldn't do that anyway.
Would you rather see? Would you not want that out of Cade, out of freaking and Steph? I'm asking for a friend.
But we already gave you the answer 10 times. His game is more than shooting step back threes. For the last 5 years, he led the Celtics in rebounding and assists.
Wonderful.
He can do the same.
Wonderful.
He can do the. He can do the.
Wonderful. Jalen Brunson just took the Knicks to the championship. I'm not putting him on the team. Jalen Brown was the Finals MVP and quote unquote stop Luka Doncic. I'm not putting him on the team.
I agree with both of those. But neither one of them is a better basketball player than Jason Tatum.
Tatum is the most versatile power forward in the league.
Jason Tatum does what both of them do, and he's a great
Tatum don't play the power forward.
He does though. He's listed as a 3, but he plays the 4. Trust me, I argue with Boston fans all the time, bro.
Listen, all I'm saying is this: the future of the USA men's basketball team is contingent on if Jason Tatum wants to play the power forward. If Jason Tatum does not commit to playing power forward, they're going to lose. Unless they go get the little light-skinned guy, they go get the little light-skinned dude from Golden State to play. That's what it is.
Who, Chef?
Steph Curry. That's the key. If we don't have Steph and Jason Tatum commits to playing the 4, nothing else matters. You want to know why? Because Jason Tatum, to y'all point, is going to rebound the shit out of basketball. He's going to get the extra pass. He's going to run the floor a little bit. But at 1.5 legs right now, if y'all think he's going to be that in 2028, more power to you. Like, to Jermaine's point, I will tell you, to Jermaine's point, that maybe Halliburton's probably going to be more effective at that point because he's able to play make. But all I'm saying is Tatum has to play the 4.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right? Fair to say? All right. Now
I disagree because they're not going to be getting the rebound and be like, here, just go find the point guard. Let me find the point guard. Here, I got the rebound. Here's the point guard. Whoever gets it off the rim is cooking.
Who's gonna run that shit?
Put the whole thing in Kate's hands and call it a day. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I'm going to shift to another topic really quick. I know it's supposed to be short, but like this one's been on my mind, and it's on my list. Why aren't black kids playing baseball anymore? Aaron, I'll start with you.
It's been de-emphasized. It's seen as a white sport now, and there's no connection. Like I think I've mentioned on the show, my great grandfather played Negro League baseball. My grandfather played baseball. Before I moved back to Roxbury, when my father left the Air Force, I played baseball. And I think there's a lot of black fathers who funnel their kids into basketball and football, even though they're 5'9", 5'6", and they got their son and they try to force their kid into basketball. Baseball is just seen as a white sport now, the same as soccer. Like I didn't start playing soccer till I was 22. I made the PDL league. I'm playing against the Revolution and international players, and it's just been taken away from us because we have other options, and it's not sexy to play baseball in the inner city when you're trying to get girls and all the rest of that. But I think mainly it's because of that disconnect. Baseball is a father-son sport. Playing catch is a father-son sport. And when's the last time you saw 2 black people just playing catch? Like, I used to go out and have my glove, throw the ball with my father or my uncles, grandfather. You don't see that anymore, and I think that's why.
I will say this. That's a great point. So I'm in a softball league now, and I played baseball, and my game was canceled today. You know that, Steve. I played baseball, and it's the one. I don't know why more of us don't play. Graduate from baseball to softball at our age. It's the one game at 49 and a 25 and over league that I can still be the best player. I can still hit the shit a mile, slow pitch. I can still play first. I wonder about the racialized piece of it, or to your point, is it an indictment on the father-son relationship in the Black community? Because you're a walking scholarship player. Because baseball is also the only sport that you can not play in college and still still get drafted, because if you're a super athlete, right? I'm is it something we're not pushing? Is it expensive? I think it might be expensive, right?
It's not expensive. The entire Dominican Republic plays baseball. It's not expensive.
But they got an infrastructure for it. It's not expensive.
We had an infrastructure. We just got rid of it. It's if we want to go play baseball right now, we have a ball, bat, we'll be good.
Well,
you can play baseball in a lot of places.
When I was working with BPS, and I was at English High, the 5 years I was over there, I seen 11 pros leave English High. 11. That's crazy number. Also, when I was at Wesley, I was there when Manny Del Carmen was there, and he was doing no hitters for 3 years.
Well, Snowden just got the kid that hit the 3 home runs in his first 3 years.
The kid just hit the 3 home runs.
So
with the Snowden.
It's a socialized thing, because there's a report that came out that says maybe it's a community issue, because Project Play found that baseball was the most expensive of the 3 most played youth sports in 2024 in a parent survey. Baseball spending has increased by 68% in the last 5 years.
That's counting coaches and all the rest of that stuff. That's not counting playing baseball. It's the same as basketball too. Basketball, the expense. I think you might have mentioned it. How basketball is becoming a rich kid sport.
Way more expensive.
Right. Basketball is becoming a rich kid sport.
The most expensive one, but the baseball AAU scene is we don't talk about it because it's not socialized.
That shit is ruthless, man.
It's brutal, bro. It's
big
brutal.
money.
Thank you. It's brutal. Our
kids got ADD too. They ain't playing that slow shit. Come on, let's talk real. Kids are slow, but
that's some of it too. But that's a cultural. That's a cultural thing.
Chewing some gum or some tobacco. They like.
Here's another piece. MLB reported that only 5% of college baseball players were Black, and roughly 3% when HBCUs were excluded. So imagine a gifted 50-year-old Black athlete who can play baseball, basketball, or football. Basketball and football often presented more visible recruiting pathways and scholarship opportunities. Baseball requires a deeper family investment. I think it's sad, because I love baseball so much. Ricky Henderson is one of the most important. I got my swag from Ricky Henderson. You know what I mean? I used to love. I used to love watching Barry Bonds, right?
Disgusting.
The Jim Rice, Oil Camp Boyd used to make you feel. You know what I mean? All those guys, Mookie Wilson, all those dudes. But now look at us.
That is again. So I want to say it was 95. I went to Fenway with my father. Mo Vaughn hit his 14th home run of the season versus the Kansas City Royals. I remember that specifically because I was there with my father in Fenway watching the game when Reggie Lewis died. The Red Sox were playing the Milwaukee Brewers when Milwaukee was still NL. Tom Brunetsky finished that game by hitting a home run out of County Stadium. Finished that game.
Who was Brunetsky playing for at the time?
He was with the Red Sox. It was the Red Sox playing the Brewers. The night that Reggie died, I had fallen asleep during the game. My father woke me up, kind of choked up because Reggie died. He went to Northeastern. I have the same birthday as Reggie Lewis. He's my favorite player, etc. Baseball, you go to baseball games, you get into games by going to games with your father. Whether it's a whole different show where we want to talk about the social aspects of it. But if you don't have your father to take you to a baseball game, because like Steve said, it's boring at times. To sit there and tell you the nuances, you're not going to go. You're not going to watch the game. You're not going to play.
So is there a movement that should happen where we start like taking young black boys to games first?
No, I think we've moved on. I think black boys, to me, soccer is the sport that black people should be getting into.
I got another one, Corey. Cycling. There's two brothers out of LA, and I tell everybody this, the Williams brothers. They two killers, man. These dudes are professional cyclists making millions of dollars riding the bike, man. Look into it, the Williams brothers. They cold, man. They cold.
I don't know, with baseball, man. So y'all saying that we lost it with
baseball? Baseball is over, man.
It's gone.
These kids can't play the fast sports. Now you want them to play the slowest sport in the universe?
No, and the second part of that too is baseball is hard. So there's no instant gratification when you're hitting 215, trying to get your swing right and all the rest of that, and you can just go and make a three now. You're going to gravitate towards those towards those other sports. Football is becoming easier to play. So the opposition for parents, especially mothers, for their kids to play football is sort of changing now. So that's getting a resurgence as well. But whether it's cycling, whether it's tennis, whether it's golf, there's a lot of people on the golf course. Whether it's soccer, there are other sports now that are more appealing to the black community than baseball. And there's also a huge disconnect with the history of our country and the history of what black baseball players meant to this country. Unless you have that, like you mentioned Barry Bonds. You don't have a problem with Barry Bonds doing what he did. So kids who are younger than you certainly don't. So there's that disconnect with the history of black baseball in this country and what black baseball players had to go through to play baseball.
If I knew what I did now, I wouldn't even play basketball. I would have got into refereeing as early as possible in cycling. I wouldn't give. I went to UMass and I went to Georgia State. If I couldn't run fast, I wouldn't have gone to college. If I could have played soccer from an early age, that's one of those things where geography plays a huge part. If I didn't grow up in Roxbury, I wouldn't have been playing basketball. I would have been playing baseball and soccer.
That even the ones who are playing soccer aren't really matriculating to the pros.
Because we don't have that infrastructure. So if you're a kid,
even the Latinx folks,
right? If you're so my example that I use is Nate Robinson because I felt he was similar to me. Nate Robinson played cornerback at Washington. Could jump out the gym, was 5'9", about 200 pounds. He is a perfect winger who could make $100 million a year. Like that prototype is an automatic winger or striker on the soccer pitch. But there are very few black fathers who are saying, hey, like I have a friend of mine who has done really well for himself. He has two sons. His oldest son, he's got his son basketball coaches and everything. His oldest son is 5'6". The chances of him making the pros are even the chances of him playing Division I basketball at this point are very, very slim. But he is funneling his kid into basketball. He himself wasn't a very good basketball player, but he's funneling his kid into basketball. And that's what I think a lot of people are doing. And unless you're Kevin Durant and end up at 7 feet tall and you've got, you being raised by your mother, the chance of you going to the NBA are getting smaller and smaller as the NBA becomes more and more specialized. And we're losing American jobs to foreign, the foreign players, as you just discussed. Baseball is a father-son sport. And it's not just in the black community, but across America. As those fathers aren't spending time with their sons, you're going to see less and less players, effective players, especially less black players.
My last thing is, what's
yeah,
happening?
man. I wouldn't play none of them. I would be refereeing and getting the cycling, man. Look up Corey and Justin Williams out of L.A. Compton. Crazy story. Two brothers from Belize that now got the #1 crit circuit racing team in the world. And what's crazy, going back to what Eight just said, it's a family business for them. So it takes family support, and or they pops got them into it. So just a lot of it is just a disconnect from the father and the son. But yeah, you'll never see another great homegrown black baseball player. Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, I'm
Baseball is going to look
I'm gonna dive
like
in a little bit because baseball is at my heart.
to young black boys now.
If you have so remember Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you have a specimen like Bo Jackson, not only is he not going to play baseball, but even if he wanted to, you've got all these lecherous AAU people and all these people who have a financial interest into taking him out of baseball and putting him into something more marketable.
That's true. I agree.
I feel like more
Wouldn't be baseball.
more black history, more black girls.
And don't get me wrong, I get it. The money's crazy, but
a lot of people don't know I coach
shit,
girls
we can
softball.
barely get them kids to do what we got them doing now.
A lot of people don't know I coached girls softball for 14 years. High school girls softball. Top of coaching basketball, boys.
Barely.
And
As a matter of fact, we had a coach today. He will go nameless.
Can you hear?
What you say? Y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Go.
So
we had a coach today come to the 617 program. Won't say his name, but he had a 15-minute meltdown talking about he tried everything for this young man. Everything. You name it, he's tried it. And it's like he's going crazy. So imagine having a meltdown for something that the kid loves, and you try to make him play something that he don't love, or you got to put more time in and be patient and be more mature. And you said, what did you say? You're in a slump, batting 215, and you got to really work through that. That takes maturity, and you got to have a great, family support, even more than your father, to get you through that. I got one of my brothers. His son is a big time. What's that? Whatever circuit that is. If you're 14 years old, they travel the country. And the time he puts in with his son, he puts 70 hours a week after work with his son on the baseball field. Easily 70 hours. Get off work, they go right to the batting cage. Batting cage, batting cage, batting cage. I'd be like, damn. Tournament, trip, get on a plane, hotel, practice, that. Matter of fact, there's a kid named Janaris Mendez that graduated from English High. I got a great relationship for him. They won the cities in the States. He went pro out of English High. Guess who he works for now? He's the regional scout for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you're making a great point, Corey. Like, we should get back into it because we got all these Dominican kids that are BPS kids that are leaving BPS and going somewhere with it.
There's jobs in baseball. I will say this, fellas.
Is Corey talking?
Yeah, he is. I don't think you can hear him.
I can't hear him. Go ahead, Steve. My fault.
So, Gary, Indiana. They've had 80% of the community has not had power. For the 80% of the community has not had power, and it's not a national issue. And I'm not highlighting this because it's just, a lot of black folks live there. What has happened to us that when we would have these national calls to actions as black people, that it just doesn't happen? There's no coalition to go to Gary. There's no people just hop on podcasts and talk about it. Like, I think we are the least impactful that we have been in a long time, if not ever. We can just point to the problem now, and there's nothing we can do. Why have we done nothing about that?
Well, the internet and split politics. I think the three of us are very, very different politically. And that's the difference. So I think you have a bunch of contrarian people who are like, well, you can't be a Democrat, you can't be this, you can't be that. It wasn't about being a Democrat. It wasn't about being Muslim, 5% or a Christian. It was about being black before. And now you have a bunch of black folk who have taken on what this sort of Negro-European persona where they have to pick a side, where they put the new persona ahead of being black. And so there are, I think in our group of 3,000 men, how many black Republicans are there? There's over, there's quite a few. There's enough to notice. Like there's definitely enough to notice. And so when they see stuff like that, if they comment, then they're commenting against their political party. And they'll sound like hypocrites.
They don't, but why don't they understand that it just makes them like a lesser man? So like, I think you're a sucker if you can't step outside your political. Because
there's no stigma. So I put a post today, and I don't think we didn't touch on it, about the Cleveland Browns tight end going back to college. Like he's a professional athlete. He's going back to play at LSU. To me, that's some sucker stuff. Like you have these levels, you matriculate to the next level, you couldn't hack it. And now you're going back to college to literally dominate 18-year-olds. 18 teenagers, that's what he's doing. And and there's a bunch of people, and I'll mention them by name, like Roger, who not only don't have a problem with this, but have a problem with you if you point out the fact that this is some sucker stuff here. And we don't have that. And in the black community especially, there used to be a standard. And so Italians, Jews, everything, they may have their own issues. Everybody has their own issues. But if there was outside people coming at you, you all join together. We used to do that.
I said that the other night at a community meeting that Steve had.
We don't do that. And not only do we not do that anymore, but we are very, very comfortable.
We're back.
Doing the opposite of that. And I thought you saw, to me, it became that way when Bush was elected president and the Florida votes, when they literally took black votes and threw them in the trash, and we didn't do anything. Like they did it live on TV, and we didn't do anything. And I think the slope it's just kind of gone downhill from there. Whether it's Gary, Indiana, whether it's Katrina, regardless of what it is. And actually, I was going to bring this up before. We had a similar issue in Roxbury with if you brothers remember Chuck Turner, who growing up he was always around. Like he was in his car. You recognize the beard, you recognize the bald head, but he was doing certain things outwardly, in public, but behind the scenes, he was selling stock. And what Chuck Turner did to me was sort of emblematic of what our problem is nationwide. So you can both we can look at Chuck Turner as sort of a symbol of black excellence, and because he smiles at us, he shakes our hand. But at the same time, he's selling us out to the highest bidder. And we're still like Roxbury never recovered from what he did when he was in, sort of our steward in that neighborhood. And I think that's what you see in Gary in the if people can make their money, which is you see a lot of guys say, "Oh, make the money. Doesn't matter as long as you're getting the check." We used to put black above that. We don't anymore. And if you didn't put black above that, we destroyed you like Hammer But like, remember Hammer? Hammer was making all this money. Hammer was destroyed by everybody.
Yep.
He was called a sellout. He was called this. He was called that. Now you can be a sellout and people clap for you.
Well, I don't know that MC Hammer. I know Hammer. We clowned him because he tried to put the whole neighborhood on and went broke for it.
No, people didn't know that till later. But like Paul Mooney. No, they didn't know that. Like Paul Mooney has a whole skit on where he talked about how Hammer was dancing for remember popcorn chicken commercial. And Hammer was like dancing for a piece of chicken. You don't have a grandmother? Hammer was killed. It wasn't about putting the neighborhood on. It was about what he was doing. The cartoon and all the rest of that stuff. He was killed for that.
He still basically saved Oakland at that time. The crime rate in Oakland.
You know that. The nation didn't know that.
No, there's a lot of people that know that. So I don't take anything Paul Mooney says serious because he's a rapist. Did you know that?
No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the skit. The joke was on Hammer.
I'm using your same metrics to say that you said Paul Mooney told a skit about someone selling.
No, I'm using Paul Mooney as an example of the national feeling.
I got you, but what I'm saying is, Paul Mooney wasn't that big of a big deal because a lot of us knew he's a rapist and a pedophile. Did you know that?
I know all about the Richard Pryor and the homosexuality and all the rest of that stuff.
Okay, so that's my point. That's my point.
You can dismiss that on its own, but the sentiment that the skit put out there is the sentiment that Hammer had.
Everybody didn't have that sentiment of MC Hammer.
A lot of people had that sentiment of Hammer. They're doing Living Color is doing skits on Hammer and laughing at him as a sellout.
But that's something different. That's comedy and sketch comedy.
No, it's not different. Though comedy is from how people felt about him.
And what I'm saying is that a lot of us knew what Hammer was doing. A lot of us knew Hammer's hands work. A lot of us knew that Hammer was really from the streets. That wasn't the sentiment across the board. People that really knew hip hop, really follow rap, we knew what it was. That's
no. Hammer. Remember Hammer came out with Pumps in a Rump, and he tried this hardcore persona, and he was laughed off the stage. The prevailing sentiment. I'm not talking about insider people. The prevailing sentiment on Hammer was not possible.
Special. I'm not an insider. You're not, and we both knew.
Everything is breaking.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? We ain't nobody special.
Yo, say that again. Say that again. It broke up.
We both knew.
But you guys don't represent the sort of national pulse of.
No, but what I'm saying is
right. That's what I'm talking about.
But the national pulse wasn't always that. That's what I'm saying. The National Post wasn't just clowning Hammer.
I will say that's about being black and politics. When we learn to step outside, I have my homeboy, man. He, I was clowning him about voting for Trump or whatever. He's Jamaican. They deported a ton of Jamaicans. His whole thing was like, vote your interests. Cool. I said to him, I was like, all right, man, and like the gas prices just clowning him, whatever. And he was like, yo, it's because of Biden. I'm like, yo, what kind of man are you? Like what kind of man are you? So like, it's not that he's mentioning Biden, it's just that he is when I see us take on the most apolitical, the one culture that should be most apolitical out of everybody, take sides in this matter. It's crazy. Choose politics instead of choosing black. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's insane to me. And I can't put it to. I can't get past it. I can't get past it.
There is. And I think you and I have talked about it personally, but I don't have the professional clout to say this publicly. But I think there is an aspect of that there's a difference between North and South black people. There's a difference between East and West black people. And we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dive into it because
light skin dynamics. Yep.
I'm saving it. I'm definitely saving it to have more clout.
Off 2 hours for that.
There's a difference between first, second generation immigrant black folk, West Indian black folk, American black folk, African, etc. And we're the only group that has that. And that's part of the issue. That's part of the issue as well. But even having said that, we still at one time had a common enemy, and I think complacency has replaced that. So you don't see when we do have that things like Gary and Anna, because we don't. A lot of black folk feel anyway. They don't have that common enemy. They don't they don't feel necessary to get into that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother talk.
That's a whole nother. I'm listening to y'all laughing in the back like that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother show.
It's a whole other.
I got comments for that for days.
Topic because I don't know. I think that it's wildly disappointing, but it's also eye opening that there's also a lot of brothers who are starting to point it out. With that being said, y'all gotta wrap it up. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna come back again on Tuesday or Wednesday. Shout out to Aaron for the shirt. Shout out to Steve for the work. And go Bears, go Ravens.
Wow. Yeah,
all right.
Definitely gonna hang up on that one. That's crazy.
Yep.